So just to talk for a minute, I want to first tell you, there are new people here. I am Susie Shapiro, and thanks to the Houston Center for Reform Judaism for giving us this class at no cost. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. There's a few things I want you to know. There are people here with varying levels of ability. Let's see, can I go to, I want to go to.
I think I'm going to get my hearing aids.
I want speaker view. No, I don't. I'm fine. Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, good. All right. All right, so people here with varying levels of ability. And so number one, make this class doable for you. Don't overextend or overwork yourself, especially if you're new to my type of teaching. Just get familiar with the movement and the action that I'm asking for, and then you can progress over time. The second thing is, if you can do more, do more. That's perfectly fine. And I will give cues for that. Here's the caveat. So when I give a cue that I say, so if you want to do more, and I do something kind of more than you can do, don't do it. It's not for everyone. It's for there's some people in here that are in very good shape, and there are people in here that are getting in good shape. All right. So everybody work at your own level and enjoy this class. All right. And then if there's a question, then unmute your microphone and just ask me. Okay. All right. We're going to sit. Feet are on the floor. Knees are together. Put your hands behind you, just a little bit right at your hip. Press the floor down with your feet just a bit, and you'll feel a lift through your trunk. Take a few breaths and lengthen your trunk so that you feel a lift up through your waist, up through your chest. Let your shoulders move down. At the same time your trunk moves up, you can bend your elbows and let your shoulders move down. Draw your head back slightly on its axis and let that lift come right up your neck. Keep your jaw parallel to the floor. Just look straight ahead and develop a nice, slow, steady breath. And as you breathe, feel your chest expand. And as you exhale, maintain the lift, maintain that expansion. Now then, keep all of that slowly. Take your hands down to your side, right on the side of the chair. Keep your shoulders back. Extend and draw your fingertips toward the floor and the crown of your head toward the ceiling. And breathe. Then we're going to draw our arms forward till they're shoulder height. Look at your elbows. Keep your elbows tight and your upper arms right up here at the shoulder. Clamp them into the shoulder socket. Then elbows straight. Draw your arms further up and pause. We have to notice when we begin to get resistance, straighten your elbows. If you can't straighten your elbows where you are, go back to where you can straighten your elbows. Yeah? Another way to help you straighten your elbows, you have your strap nearby, is to hold your strap in both hands, bring it up. Now have your arms as close as you can have them wide apart, and get those elbows straight. You pull on the strap and lift up, and that will help you straighten your elbows. Well, look at that. That looks a lot better. And for those who can go up higher, you bring your hands closer. But straighten your elbows. That's the important thing. All right, now extend your arms forward and come down. Good. Now you had that experience. Let's do one more time without the strap. Bring your arms forward. Inhale, press the floor down. Keep your posture. Lift up. Can you, even a little more, can you straighten those elbows and feel the extension? And breathe. Flex at the wrist. Press your palms to the ceiling. And then extend and exhale down to the side this time. And rest your hands in your lap. Okay. You can roll your shoulders around, move them a little bit. So you can already feel what's happening. Let's sit back in the chair a bit. So about half of your leg is supported on the chair. Then bring your hands behind again. Press the feet down, lift up through your trunk. Shoulders are down. You can bend your elbows. Neck is long, head is retracted just so slightly. Keep all of that lift and stretch your right leg straight up. I am mirroring you. So I want you to know that. I'm mirroring you. So this is your right leg. Press your heel forward. Keep your posture. The more important thing here is to keep your posture. Now draw your heel back and point your toes forward. And then toes back, heel forward. Heel back, toes forward. So we're just pushing back and forth, flexing the foot. Heel forward, toes back. Heel back, toes forward. Heel forward, toes back. Bring that foot back down. Take a breath. Take your left foot up. Straight leg. Press out through your heels and pull the toes back. Take a breath, and then pull the heel back, toes forward. Heel forward, toes back. Heel back, toes forward. Heel forward, toes back, pull them back. Heel back. Heel forward, pull those toes back. One more, heel back, press those toes forward, and heel back. Bring that leg down. If your thighs are really cranky, you can pat your feet on the floor and just go for a little run there, and it'll take some of that crankiness out of your thigh. Okay, now we're going to sit forward a little bit again. We're going to reach under the right leg. So reach down the thigh, under your knee, pull the leg up, grab your shin. Nudge that shin in so that the foot is coming closer and closer to your pelvis. And let me tell you that there is a place right in the middle of your thigh. There's a big nerve that goes down there. So if that's very uncomfortable on your thigh, and that'd be on your left thigh, just move your foot a little more to the midline so you can get off of that new nerve. That's not any fun. So then, depending on where your knee is, that will decide what you do next. But no matter where your knee is, everybody sit up, shoulders back and down, head back. Because what we do with our arms and legs is not meant to disturb our posture. So if you're a person whose knee is way up high, it tends to bring the trunk down. So you have a big challenge there to lift. But do it anyway. Meet that challenge and lift your trunk up. And then you can take your hand on your thigh, not your knee, but your thigh. Foot with your left hand. Pull your foot towards you and press your thigh away from you until you get a nice stretch in your hip. Shoulders down, chest up, head high, and breathe. Slowly release that. Pull behind your knee again. Release your leg down. Sit for a moment and take a breath. Then reach inside, up behind your left knee. Pick that leg up. Hold that ankle. Bring it across. Sit up tall. One thing you'll notice about how I progress into poses is don't jump right into this thing. I'm going to give that a moment, and then I'm going to see, can I make it better? Can I draw my heel up a little bit closer to my hip? I'm going to sit tall. Let's everybody sit tall, bring your shoulders back and down. Lengthen your neck and breathe. Everybody can do that. And then see, holding on to that foot, can you press your thigh forward and extend and help that leg release down? Keep breathing, keep sitting tall. Work with that challenge. You should feel something. You should feel a sensation. You should not ever feel pain. That's quite different from the sensation of stretch. Let's release that. Hold your leg, hold your thigh, and take that leg down. And sit tall. Then once again, reach inside your right leg, pull it up, pull the foot in, find a place where it doesn't hurt, hold the foot, press the thigh down, lift your trunk up. Somebody's microphone is not muted. And breathe. Now this time, maintaining this upward lift in the trunk, can you extend forward from your hip? Not from your waist, but your hip. And if you haven't practiced a lot of yoga, this will be new for you. So you may need to experiment with that a bit. And isn't that great? You get to learn something new. There's no reason you should know how to do anything I'm asking you to do unless you get in my class or another Iyengar yoga class. All right, come on up. So it's the joy of learning. Let that leg come down. Sit tall for a moment. Take a breath. Reach inside the left. Pull that leg up. Pull it across. Snug it in. Hold your foot and sit tall for a moment. Let that settle. Then we see, can we do more? Press that thigh down a bit more. Lift your trunk up a bit more. Breathe. Then, if things are going well for you, take an inhale and lift and lengthen your trunk up. Keep that front body long as you extend forward. Exhaling as you go. And then inhale and come up. And help that leg support it as you take it down. Sit forward in your chair and lift and sit up tall. As we did in the first pose, pressing the feet down, lifting up through the waist, lifting the chest, shoulders back and down, and slightly back, breathing. All right, then we release that. We're going to stand. When we stand up in this class, I always tease and say we're going to stand up like we're on television. So we don't want to have one of those cranky old stand-ups. We want to look graceful. So if you put one foot forward and one foot back, whichever one, it doesn't matter. Then it's one smooth action. You lean forward and push. Boom, everybody made it. That's good news. All right. So then we're going to come alongside or behind the chair. Now use the chair if you need it, and don't use the chair if you don't need it. One thing I think is interesting is that even if we touch with one finger, it helps our balance. But even if we touch with one finger, we never take, the brain never takes full responsibility. So you can touch and go or do without. But when you're using your chair, I don't want you to lean on your chair. This will get more important in a moment. Just have it close enough to you so that when you just flex your wrist, it's there. Then, another trick, we're going to go up and down on our toes. A trick to this is to keep your weight back toward your heels. And go up and down. So we'll inhale and go up. Exhale and go down. Inhale and go up. Exhale and go down. If you're finding you don't need the chair, you want to make this a little more challenging, then you can use your arms to the side. Now what happens then is, so you have to learn, what happens then we tend to bring our arms forward, which then we lose the balance. So when you bring your arms to the side, pull them back a little bit and go down. So as you go up, the arms go up, and as you go down, the arms go down. And if you need to use the chair, that's perfectly fine. We all have to make it doable, but we also want to challenge ourselves. One more. Now, this pose is called mountain pose. So where you are, your feet look down and see. Are your feet parallel and directly under your hips? Tighten the muscles in your legs. Adjust your pelvis, drawing your abdomen up and your tailbone forward. Let that lift come up through your trunk. Soften the superficial muscles in your trunk. You'll encounter this many times. So I learned to stand up straight by tightening all the surface muscles. We want to bring that in deeper as we practice. Shoulders back and down, stretch your arms, lengthen your neck. Now, we'll revolve your palms outward. Keep your shoulders down, neck long. Inhale, shoulders down, arms up. Stretch your elbows. Keep your elbows stretching, your fingertips reaching to the ceiling, and bend your knees as much as you can. Breathe. It's chair pose, or some people used to call this skier's pose. Stretch your elbows, lift your trunk, feel those legs go to work, and then come up. Legs at your wrist, palms to the ceiling, press up. Now, do you feel the superficial muscles on your ribs? Can you soften them and breathe? Take an exhale and see if you can soften those ribs, but maintain your extension. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your arms down. Isn't it fun to find new things you can do? All right. Now, we're gonna do downward dog. So I'm gonna turn my chair to the side so that you can see me. You don't have to turn your chair to the side, but you need to see what I'm gonna do. It's important to put the heel of your hand on the back of your chair rather than grip it. Heel of the hand on the back of the chair, fingers stretch forward. Then we're going to walk our feet back. walk your feet back. Keep your knees bent, because at first we want to stretch from the fingertips through the trunk to the hips. So keep your knees bent so that the hamstrings don't have anything to say about this. And feel that nice stretch. And you can move your hips over to your right side for a moment. Just kind of wag your tail. And then move it over to the left. You feel that stretch along the side body. And over to the right. And over to the left. And then come back to the middle. Don't come all the way out, but come up a minute, just a little bit, and then stretch again, and it'll feel all new. And then begin to stretch your legs straight. Tighten up the muscles in your legs. Breathe. Look at the back of the chair. Look at maybe the seat of the chair. And breathe. And keep the final point for this, for your head, is so that your ears are in between your arms. If you're not there, it's perfectly fine. But I just thought you might like to know what the finish line looked like. Bend your knees again, lift your shoulders up, and walk in. Stand up. That's kind of exciting. So we're going to stand in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet under the hip, parallel.
Call from Ronnie NC.
Somebody just got a call and we can hear you, so can you mute your mic?
Call from Ronnie NC. Call from Ronnie NC.
It's whoever's receiving a call, mute your microphone. Okay, that seemed to do it. Thanks. All right. So stand in Tadasana. We're going to repeat that pose. Now you can see now why it's important to mute the mic, right? Okay, so stand back from your chair. Heel of the head on the back of the chair. Step back a little bit more. Begin to bend your knees. Lengthen your trunk. Let your feet just creep back, but keep your feet underneath your hips. And stretch your fingers forward, stretch your hips back. And as you're ready, begin to straighten your legs, tightening up those knees. Those who are more able can take hands down to the seat of the chair or to the floor. Okay? And then walk your feet in, stand up, Tadasana. And feel all that energy in your body. It's doing something. The person that just coughed, please mute your microphone. All right. And
I
yes.
have to mute it.
It's that little microphone down on the bottom left of the screen. You can just touch it. Now this one, step your right foot.
Can you hear me
forward.
now?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Step your right foot forward. Now lean forward and take your left foot as far back as you can get it. So the chair is here for our balance. We want to square the tendency, of course, here is our pelvis is this way. We want to bring that left hip forward and charge that right hip backward. So there's real action in the legs. Then we want to bring the pelvis up. The back leg objects. So you have to decide, oh, maybe I could bend my knee a moment, get my pelvis up, and then try straightening the back knee again. That may help. It's a work in progress for all of us, right? So then lift up, shoulders back, chest up, press into your back leg, and bend the knee, maintaining this lift in the trunk. The chair is there for your balance. If you don't need it, you can take your arms out to the side and work that way. If you're more advanced than that, the arms can go up. And then lift up, straighten the legs, step in, stand tall. Then we're going to put the left foot under, step back with the right, as far as you can. Adjust your pelvis, so press the right hip forward and draw the left one back. Make your pelvis perpendicular, lift up the abdomen, up through the trunk, shoulders back, everything's fine. Then press into the back leg. You can imagine you're sitting on your back leg and begin to bend your left knee forward. No disturbance in the trunk. If you have your balance, you can take your arms to the side. If you need the chair, you hold the chair. And then straighten that leg, step in, stand tall. All right. Okay, Ronnie, how many of those do we do? Hold up a finger. 1 or 2? 1. Okay, good. Right foot forward. Left foot back. Is that right? Okay, good. I depend on you. Square up your hips. Get your pelvis perpendicular. So lift your abdomen up and stretch that back leg. That's not its favorite thing. You have to teach it how much fun it is. Shoulders back, chest up. Press into the back heel. Keep your weight over your back leg as you bend that right knee. Keep breathing, keep your chest up. You can move into more advanced movements if you choose. You can even just try one arm at a time. You could do that. Keep breathing. And then straighten both legs. Step forward. Come up. Tadasana. Stand tall. Start with your feet up through your legs. Pelvis. Lengthen the trunk. Shoulders back and down. Tight arms. Head back. Then right leg steps back. Far as you can. Lift your trunk up. Press into that back heel. Straighten the back leg. Keep your weight over the back leg as you bend your left knee. Move into whatever variation of this suits your ability, and keep breathing. And then come up. Step forward, stand tall. All right. Standing portion. Now we're going to go to the floor. One way I really like to help people go to the floor, especially if it's a little bit of a challenge for you, you can hold the chair, then step back with one knee and hold yourself up with the chair, step back with the other. You can reach down to the floor with one hand. You begin to lower your hips to the side and then straighten your legs. This pose is called Dandasana, rod or staff pose. And what that means is that the legs and the arms should be straight. I'm going to go to the side so you can see. So many people don't have that ability to sit straight. Either the knees are bent or the back is rounded, okay? Y'all just about up with me? All right, so one way to help that is to take that folded blanket that you have and sit on it. Then I want you to scoot. Okay, so drag one leg down your mat, drag the other forward, drag so that the flesh of your hips is being lifted up behind you. And this will help you sit tall and straighten your legs. So knowing that we're going into new territory, you may not make it all the way. You may not scoot all the way to the floor today, but move yourself to the place where you feel a nice challenge. It's always the legs that complain the most. Now, big toes together. Tighten up your kneecaps. Draw up through your trunk. Take your shoulders back and down, bend your elbows, and take your head back a little bit on the axis. And breathe. Now, from here, and I'm going to change my orientation, you don't need to. From here, we're going to take our legs apart. So, one leg at a time, you can move out to the side. And how far apart is always the question. Well, the book says about 90 to 100 degrees. So you're looking for about a 90-degree angle. That might not be on your dance card today, but at least you have a goal, okay? So get your legs apart to a distance that you can sustain. It shouldn't be painful. It might be a little challenging, okay? And then lean over and move that hip flesh back. Fingertips right behind your hips. Press your legs down. Draw your abdomen up. Shoulders back and down. Head retracted. Keep your legs straight. Your toes and your knees need to face the ceiling. So that for most people, that means we need to roll our thighs in. It's not true for everyone, but for most. Keep your chest lifted. Now, can you keep that? Very carefully release your hands. Take them out to the side. Keep your posture, keep your legs pressing the floor. Raise your arms shoulder height, shoulders down. Bring them up. Stretch your shoulders up. Tighten your elbows. Breathe. Bring them down. Hold inside of your knee, one leg at a time. Bring them in. Join your feet in front of you. And then bring your heels closer to your hip. Or you can push your hip closer to your heels. Hands are behind you. The final pose is you hold your feet. But right now, we're more interested in getting openness in the hips and good posture in the trunk, lift and extension. So feel how that can open up your chest, your belly. Take some nice breaths. Then bring your knees up. Stretch your legs out again. Because the second time's the charm. Lift your trunk, press your knees down, knees and toes face the ceiling. Shoulders back, chest up. Now, if that's going really well for you, you can bring your hands forward. Keep your trunk long. So when we move forward, our front body needs to stay extended. It shouldn't change. It's a big challenge. One way I've taught people, and so good news is that this session is recorded. So if you'd like to practice it again, you can go back to the website and find it and go through it again, or just one part of it that you really liked. One way I teach people is to grab the t-shirt in front and pull it really tight so you can feel it on your skin. Now make your legs real strong, your trunk real strong, and keep that t-shirt on your skin as you lean forward just a little bit. Make those legs work and breathe. And then come up. Sometimes some cues help us figure out what we're trying to do different with our body. Bring your feet together. And bring your heels to your hips to your knees, hands behind you. Sit up tall, lift your chest up, extend out through your thighs. All right, bring your knees up and straighten your legs out. Back to the first pose that we did, feet together, Dandasana. Your fingertips are forward. Hands by your hips, straighten your legs, press your knees down, press out through your feet. Balls of the big toes together. Lift your chest, head back. Breathe. Right now, for this next section, and I'm going to ask for feedback on how this works for you because I'm going to lie down. And even when you're in class, it's a little hard to see what's going on. So adjust your computers so that you can see what I'm doing. You do have that advantage. A lot of you, your computer will be up higher than the floor. So that way you can point your computer at the floor and we can see each other. So you're going to what you're going to need is your rolled up towel or blanket and your strap. Okay, so have those two things nearby. Now you don't need your head on the blanket unless you're on a very hard surface at this point. If you are on a very hard surface, you could make your blanket kind of flat just to give a little padding to the back of your head. Okay. So we're going to lay down, and if you want to have a little extra fun here, you can roll yourself down. It takes a little bit more core strength. So you just hold yourself and you roll down and bring your knees up. And that will feel good on your back. And then just stretch your legs straight up in the air. Adjust your shoulder blades so they're flat on the floor under you. Spread out your toes. And then bend your knees again. Then put your feet flat on the floor. Now I forgot what I'm doing next. We're doing, oh yeah. You're gonna take your strap. You're gonna slide, it'll be your left foot, slide your left foot out till that leg is straight on the floor. And then lift that leg up a moment, extend through your heel, pull the toes back, put your calf down on the floor and draw back up your leg so that both hips are on the floor, shoulder blades flat on the floor. Now, maintaining as much composure as you can, put the strap around the big toe, all those little metatarsal joints right there before your toes begin on your foot. And hold the belt with 2 hands. And pull on the belt with your hands to bring your toes toward you and your heel towards the ceiling. And keep your left leg stretched out on the floor. If you're not comfortable stretching that leg out, that's fine as well. But stretch the leg that you've got lifted 90 degrees. So you draw the top of that leg down to the floor. Well, that was relative. The top of your leg meaning your thigh. Your thigh, draw your thigh toward the floor and your heel toward the ceiling. All right, now you're going to take your strap in both hands in your right hand. Hold as close to your foot as you can reach. Make your left side strong. Make your left leg strong. Roll, you're going to roll your abdomen to the left as you take your leg, your right leg to the right.
To the side.
Take it to the side. Okay, we've got a lot of microphones on again. Now bring that leg up. Hold it with your left hand. Keep both hips on the floor, but bring that leg to the left. You probably won't need to go very far before it gets really exciting in your leg. This is stretching those muscles right there, in case you didn't notice, on the outside of that leg. We need to keep those muscles limber and strong. All right, bring it back up. Release the belt, bend the knee, give it a little hug, put that foot on the floor. And just take a moment and breathe. Then slide your left foot up, slide the left leg down. Lift that leg up just a little bit, reach with the heel, put that on the floor. From the calf, draw up into your hip, press the toes forward. These are actions in the leg to make it alert and working well for you. Then that left knee, bring up, keep the right leg down as you draw the left knee in. Shoulders on the floor, and breathe. Then we want to place the belt on the foot with as little fanfare as possible and stretch that leg up straight, holding the belt in 2 hands. Draw your shoulders down, draw the heel up and pull the toes toward your head, toward your face. We're not pulling the leg, we're flexing the foot. Straightening the leg. Press into your knee. Breathe. Then take the belt in your left hand. Take that leg out to the right, to your left. Hold the belt close to your foot as you can. Keep your body steady. The body doesn't move with the leg, it moves independent of the body. Bring that up. Put the belt in your right hand. Keep the left hip down and pull that leg across your body. It doesn't really have to go very far to get exciting. Bring that up. Bend both knees. Rest for a moment. Now you know we're going to do that again. So slide your right, left leg out. Where are we going? Left leg out. Bring your right knee in. We're going to go ahead and put the belt on the leg. So it's your right leg that's being lifted. Stretch your left leg out nicely. And then extend that right leg to the ceiling there. Foot. Heel to the ceiling, toes pull toward your face. Bend your elbows, shoulders on the floor, pressing. Left leg stretching, right leg stretching, breathing. Take that, both sides of the belt in your right hand. Take your leg to the right. Keep the body still. It doesn't have to go all that far. Keep your body still and get a nice stretch in that leg. Bring that up. Put the belt in your left hand. So keep both hips on the floor so that right hip doesn't get to come up as you pull that leg toward the left across your body. And come up. Bend your knee. Release the belt. Come down. Foot on the floor. Then you can draw your left leg up, extend your right leg out, lift and extend it, pulling the toes back towards you, lengthening that leg by drawing up into your hip. Then that left leg, draw up to knee to chest. Put the belt on your foot, near your toes. Stretch your legs straight. Hold both ends of the belt, one in each hand. Stretch the heel to the ceiling, the toes to your face, shoulders to the floor, elbows bend. Tighten your knee. Take some breaths. Then put both ends of the belt in your left hand. Keep the body stable. Take that leg to the left. It certainly does not need to go to the floor. Halfway down is quite enough. Stretch that right leg while you're at it. Bring it up. Put the belt in your right hand. Keep the left hip down. Bring the belt across your body toward the right. It doesn't need to go far. And breathe. Bring that up. Release the belt. Bend your knees. And bend both knees. Now, and just rest for a moment.
Good ride, yes, good ride.
Now this one is called, this is like used to be called easy bridge pose. Gonna tuck your shoulder blades way under you. Reach down, if you have a mat, grip the edges of your mat and turn them under you. So you reach down with your palms down, grip the mat, and then roll the palms toward the ceiling and tuck your shoulders under. Bring your feet very close to your hips, feet parallel. Lift your hips, press the feet down. Adjust your shoulders under you even more. Press those hips upward, shoulders down, throat open, face relaxed, breathe. Press your shoulders down, lift your hips, breathe. Slowly come down, tuck your tailbone up. You can even come up on your toes and roll down one vertebra at a time from the top to the bottom. Relax your hands for a moment and take a breath. And we'll do that one more time. So now grip your mat, roll it under so your palms are facing the ceiling. Shoulders need to be well under you. That gives you a lot of power when your shoulders are under you. Feet are very close to the hips. Press down with your feet, especially your heels, and lift your hips up. Adjust your shoulders even more. Stretch your arms, press them on the floor, and lift your hips more. It's not only the legs that are lifting your hips. One more time, lift, press the arms down, press the feet down, lift your hips, breathe. And then you can release your shoulders a bit, tuck your tailbone up, roll yourself down, one vertebra at a time. Release the mat. Take some breaths. Now we go to Shavasana. So if you're wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Now is when you want that, maybe you may want a little bit higher blanket under your head. Because when we rest in Shavasana, we want our chin down slightly. When you lay down, draw the blanket up under your head until the edges touch the top of your shoulders. Shoulders are on the floor, tuck them under you. Take your arms out to the side, about 20 degrees out from, 15 to 20 degrees out from your body. Adjust your hips so that they feel nicely placed and level. Your back feels nice on the floor. One leg at a time. Extend your legs and join your feet. So in one way, this is a little bit like the lay down Tadasana that we did at the first of class. Adjust your shoulders. That helps to open your chest. It gives support. Once you feel that you are symmetrical, you've checked every part of you, then slowly close your eyes and begin to release your body to the floor. Relax. With every exhale, you will find you can deepen your relaxation. With every inhale, you can fill yourself with new energy, healing, vitality. If you have an area that needs healing in particular, you can pay a little extra attention to that as you go. You may need to adjust your feet just a little bit apart. You may not, but if you do, that's fine. Make final adjustments here so that everything's perfect, and then slowly, slowly release deeper. Now, for the next minute or so, do not move, no matter what, except to breathe. Focus on your breath. Allow your breath to be smooth and steady. Get to know where it is in your body. And as you release, allow your breath to move into a wider area than where you first could feel it. So in your trunk, somewhere, could be your chest, could be your belly, could be both. Feel your breath getting wider and deeper. Slow, steady breaths. As you go through that process, maintaining awareness of that, relax your eyes. Let your eyes soften back into the sockets. And let them look down. Even though they're closed, look down. Relax your jaw, your lips, your teeth could separate very slightly. Relax your tongue so that it is in the bottom jaw, away from the roof of your mouth. And let it relax back in your mouth a bit. Keep that slow, steady breath going. Feel how it moves your body. When you feel that it's really filling your trunk, let it move into your legs. Soften in the hips, soften the belly. Allow that healing energy carried by the breath to move into your legs. And in particular, if there is a place where you need healing, you can focus there. Send some good, loving, healing energy to that place. And let that energy travel all the way down your legs into your toes. And see that the energy in your legs is moving harmoniously with the breath and the energy in your trunk. So as you inhale, you feel slight increase in pressure in extension. As you exhale, you soften back and go deeper. Let that awareness now slowly move up your legs and through your trunk. Enjoy your journey there of awareness. And come up to your shoulders. Let them soften on the floor even more. Relax your arms. Take one more minute to relax in Shavasana. Slow, steady breathing. Let that breath go all the way down your arms to your fingers. And then slowly begin to move your fingers and toes. Let your breath deepen. Bend your elbows, bend your knees. Put your feet flat on the floor. You can stretch your arms up to the ceiling, or you can stretch them overhead. Create some nice gentle movement. And then roll on your right side, placing your head on your shoulder or on your blanket with your knees bent. Take a few breaths there. Then continue to roll forward and take weight on your left hand and push up, then your right. Push yourself up to sitting and sit straight and tall. If you are more comfortable, you can put that blanket under your hips now. We're just going to sit for one moment. So sit straight and tall, draw your shoulders back and down. Any seated position is fine. If you prefer to get back in your chair, you may, but we're only going to be here for a minute. Sit tall, shoulders back and down. Take a few breaths. Join your palms Take the thumbs to the center chest, lift that skin slightly, shoulders down. Take a breath. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bow your head. Take a moment to be grateful for all the blessings of your life. Namaste.